How about the MP for Wimbledon, Stephen Hammond? Thank you very much, Stephen. Look, what do you make of this?
Good afternoon. Well, again, I think like a lot of people would be pretty angry that Just Stop Oil have taken their protest, they've disturbed other people's enjoyment. It happens time and time again, where this group use guerrilla tactics, which frankly, I hope are losing them support, because it's really when they affect other people's lives, other people's enjoyment. Everybody has a right to protest, but they could have done that by having standing outside the gates. They didn't need to come in and do what they've done.
No, I mean, today, so far, Just Stop Oil have held up traffic at Parliament Square, they've raided Harrods, and they've stopped Wimbledon. I mean, there were I was in Parliament Square earlier. You've got hundreds of tourists there, so that's their view of Britain. You've got, obviously, Harrods, massive footfall, that's those people's views of Britain. You've got a global audience at Wimbledon, that's their people's views of Britain. I mean, what's it going to take for this government to designate this like a terror group?
Well, they're not going to designate them a terror group, but the government have put in place a number of actions where operationally now the police can deal with this, starting with the public order bill and the revisions to that. And I'm absolutely supportive of what the government is trying.
Oh, I think we might have lost Stephen there. I think we've lost Stephen. Stephen's either standing very still or he's frozen. Anyway, that was Stephen Hammond there, who was the MP for Wimbledon, who we have back, I believe. Yes, Stephen, sorry, we lost you for a second there, my good man. You were saying that you're doing enough with public order bills and all of this stuff, and I understand that, but it's not putting them off, is it?
It's not at the moment, but once you start actually using the provisions that are there, once we get the police actually arresting these people and making it clear that this is a criminal offence, people have the right to protest, but they don't have the right to disturb my constituents, global events, national infrastructure.
No, indeed. I think there is a wider concern here, which is for the ordinary Brit who means no harm to anybody, who wants to go to events like the Ashes, who wants to go to events like Wimbledon. At some point, we're going to have airport-style security at every major public gathering because of this lot of eco-loons, and they are impacting our human rights in that sense.
Yeah, they definitely are, and that's why the public order bill is there. You are right that if we don't stop them, I think the good news is that public opinion is actually going against them quite heavily now. I don't get many people supporting them in my post, my email box. What I get is people saying they're frustrated. They talk about these are people who are trying to get to work every day. These are people who are trying to live their lives and enjoy their lives. And once the public turn against them, don't they're doing, I hope that will stop them as well.
No, indeed, like you said, I mean, it's a bizarre... I mean, you will know a thing or two about campaigning and trying to drum up public support, and sometimes it may be easier than others. But it's fair to say I don't think they're going about it in the right way. I mean, can you imagine the ideas meeting there about, right, OK, let's annoy the working class by going after the snooker and a couple of other events, stopping people getting to work. Let's wind up the kind of cushy middle classes by going after the Chelsea Flower Show and Wimbledon as well. It is almost like they're trying to alienate absolutely everybody, isn't it? Look, what they will say is this, which is that you are not doing enough to stop the climate crisis and that we're all going to burn to death. How would you respond to that?
Well, I would point out that this government and this we've seen in the last 10 years, this part of this country move much closer to further on renewable oil and renewable energy. We've seen renewable energy come through. We've done things about oil or North Sea gas. But you need to look also, we can't just ban a source of energy. But we've done many things that have actually moved the environmental and attacked climate change. We've been at the forefront of that over the last 10, 12 years. You may want to do more, but there's a time to do these things. And there's a progress that has to happen. Otherwise, the cost for people's lives will be too high.
No, indeed. And in fact, it's a topic that we're going to be talking about a little bit later on, which is very close to a lot of our viewers' hearts, which is this kind of headlong rush towards net zero and everything that goes with it. And that is hitting a lot of people in the pockets. And it is good news if Rishi Sunak does row back on us splurging billions of pounds on some kind of big international, eco effort, when you could argue that right now in the middle of a cost of living crisis, we have a few things that we could be spending it on here. Fascinating, though, isn't it, though, that I think the Labour Party take a different approach to Just Stop Oil. They appear to be willing to just take their money.
Yeah, they do. And as you well know, that I think they've accepted, I'm just looking at the numbers here, I think it's £1.5 million. And yet already that money and the support for them has come under criticism from the General Secretary of the GMB as well. So I think the Labour Party need to work out, first of all, what their plan is about oil and gas and what they might have for energy security and the cost for people's bills. And secondly, do you really want to support an organisation like this?
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Look, Stephen, thank you very much. Great to have you on the show. Thank you for coming on at short notice. And hopefully we can talk again, but not when Just Stop Oil have done something. That'd be nice. Stephen Hammond there.